Good evening. My hope is that you had a lovely day. Good evening. Welcome to News Hour. Today being the 9th day in the month of May. Welcome to News Hour. You can begin sending us your feedback and tell us where you are watching us from through our SMS number appearing on your screen. You can as well comment on our live Facebook and YouTube videos for more feedback. We have a lot lined up for you in this bulletin, but first let us get our highlights.
We see this as a very important turning point in the upgrading of the relations between our countries. We could do so much more in terms of business relations on all fields of agriculture, trade, science, and energy, and all other fields of joint cooperation.
I, Dr. David Adang Oginde, having been appointed chairperson of the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, do swear that I will at all times obey, respect, and uphold the Constitution of Kenya.
I am happy to report that the exhumation process has resumed today.
The table birds mostly at 400 shillings per kilo, and the market is there. We sell sometimes to groups, sometimes individuals.
All right, welcome to the bulletin. My name is BARASA SAENYI and our sign language interpreter is Phyllis Mirikwa Arunga. President William Ruto is in Israel on a 2-day state visit following an invitation by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. President Ruto was today hosted by Israel President Isaac Herzog upon arrival from the Netherlands, where he held bilateral talks with King Willem Alexander. Ruto is expected to tour several agricultural projects in Israel and hold high-level discussions on areas of mutual interest to the countries. The president is accompanied by, among others, First Lady Rachel Ruto, Cabinet Secretary in charge of Foreign Affairs Alfred Mutua, and Mithika Linturi, the Cabinet Secretary for Agriculture. And the Economic Advisor to the President, Augustine Cheriot, is also on the trip. Let's take a look.
We both share the love of the Bible. It gives me a special pleasure to host you here with your wife. We see this as a very important turning point in the upgrading of the relations between our countries. We could do so much more in terms of business relations on all fields of agriculture, trade, science, and energy, and all other fields of joint cooperation.
I am very keen on matters to do with health. As you're aware, Kenya has identified health as one of our priority areas. We're looking forward to working with you on blue economy. We have huge potential in the blue economy space that is untapped and that needs investment and cooperation, and I am very confident that Israel can share with us your experience and work with your technology and work with your expertise in that space. And of course, on matters to do with security.
Moving forward, the second phase of the exhumation of the bodies from the Shakahola forest has taken over today again, as the investigations into the extent of the Paul Mackenzie's led cult activities continue. So far, officials have identified 15 more grave sites that they intend to target in the second phase of the exhumation exercise. This means the number of bodies to be recovered is expected to rise. The exhumation continues as families of missing people continue to search and wait for the identification of the bodies so far retrieved from the forest following cult links connected to Pastor Paul Mackenzie. The number of people reported missing has surpassed 400, according to Kenya Red Cross officials.
I am happy to report that the exhumation process has resumed today. I reaffirm what I said last week and all the other times I've been around. On behalf of the government of Kenya, I want to assure the people of Kenya that the government will inform the public the whole truth of what has happened to our people here. And therefore, there should be no cause of anxiety or alarm. We continue asking people who have missing persons who they think could have been trapped in this criminal enterprise to make use of the public information tracing and support center and use the number which you have provided, or otherwise get in touch with the team here led by the Regional Commissioner for the Coast Province, Rhoda Onyancha.
Now, Bishop David Oginde has pledged to build on the efforts and successes of his predecessors at the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, EACC. Speaking on Tuesday during his swearing in as the EACC chairperson at the Supreme Court of Kenya, Oginde vowed to provide leadership in formulating effective anti-corruption strategies. He said he will have close collaborations with all actors in the justice sector, working with state and non-state organs and involving the public in the promotion of ethics and the fight against corruption. The bishop acknowledged that during the former EACC chairperson, Archbishop Eliud Wabukala, the anti-graft body achieved stability and many assets were recovered. To effectively fight corruption, Oginde has said that the body will seek to prioritize methods including evaluating the current efforts to inform future interventions. It will also work towards addressing the root cause of corruption and forge a strategic partnership for a holistic approach.
I, Dr. David Adang Oginde, having been appointed chairperson of the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, do swear that I will at all times obey, respect, and uphold the Constitution of Kenya and all other laws of the Republic, that I will faithfully and fully, impartially, and to the best of my knowledge and ability, perform the functions and exercise the powers devolving upon me by virtue of this appointment without fear, favor, bias, affection, ill will, or prejudice. So help me God.
I take this opportunity to wish you all the best and promise you of our support as the judiciary. The oath that you have taken today will guide you in your...
Now, there is a major breakthrough in the fight against crime as two step-brothers suspected to be infamous bandits operating in the North Rift region have been apprehended in Baringo. Following a period of intensive surveillance, the authorities successfully located and raided a resident in Mukutani area of Baringo County. Thanks to valuable information provided by vigilant members of the public, law enforcement officials have also disclosed that these individuals are not only involved in banditry activities, but are also engaged in the theft of motorbikes, which they then trade for ammunition in Isiolo and Meru counties. Let's take a look at this story.
Usiku wa kuamkia leo tumeweza kwa ushirikiano na wananchi pamoja na afisa wetu tumeweza kamata jambazi mmoja ambaye wamekuwa kihusika kwa visa mbalimbali ya wizi ya mifugo, haswa ile ambaye juzi mtu aliuawa na tukapoteza ng'ombe 77 kutoka jamii ya Tugen. Tulishika hapo awali mtu mmoja na huyu pia tumeweza kumshika ambaye pia alikuwa anahusika na hiyo maneno.
Kiiba hii mapikipiki aidha upande wa Baringo huku wanaenda wanauza Isiolo ama wanaweza kuuza upande wa Meru huko. Wakiuza hizo mapikipiki Isiolo wananunua risasi. Kwa hivyo yeye ni mmoja ya wale ambaye ni suspect ya wizi ya uzaji wa.
Now, the workers' union in Kakamega County are standing up against the government's proposal to impose 3% tax on public sector employees' salaries to fund a housing construction plan. The opposition stems from concerns that the tax will worsen an already difficult financial situation for workers. The unions are pushing for the government to consider alternative funding methods that won't further burden low-income earners. They are calling on the government to prioritize the welfare of workers and ensure that the proposed tax does not impede their ability to make ends meet. The unions are committed to advocating for the rights and well-being of public sector workers in Kakamega County and are urging the government to take their concerns into consideration.
To not pass that bill, Financial Bill 2023. If you pass that bill, we will meet you on the ground. We will make sure you don't step in those constituencies. We will make life so difficult for you. Because you have been taxed already.
We want increase of salaries to employees by the government. And the parliament should ensure that the SRC, which is doing nothing to us, is removed completely.
We have houses, even if they are grass-thatched houses. Those are our houses. We do not need government houses. We do not need anybody to purchase houses for us. 50 years to come, will even my grandson or daughter benefit from those houses? We refuse to be imposed to taxes that are not helpful to us. Tutabeba matawi, tutatoa hata nguo, because this is just too much. They are increasing the prices of food. They don't even add salary. Now again they deduct our salaries.
Now, even as we move forward, remember that Imani Television is among the television stations proposed or nominated in the Kuza Awards. And to vote for us and to make us champions and winners this year, you can SMS the word Kuza, that is K-U-Z-A, to the number 15601. That is Kuza to the number 15601, and follow the prompts to vote for Imani Television as your favorite television station countrywide. All right, let's move forward to the next item, where social organizations drawn from Busia County and the surrounding areas now want more efforts to be put in achieving development projects in the country. This is following that what they say is the lack of proper use of the power of delegation to develop projects at the grassroots level. Take a look.
On average, county governments absorb like 57% of the development budget and about 83% of the current budget. But when now you narrow down to Busia County, you find that Busia is even lower than the national average for the development budget absorption for the for all the counties, because Busia is at 45% when it comes to absorbing development budget. The National Assembly and also the County Assembly has a weak link, because most of the time they don't ask this kind of critical questions that we are suggesting, and that's why we end up having very low budget absorption because of weak oversight.
And now it has called for our supporters, CSOs, that we need to check and do a critical check into the citizens' priorities as well as what can be implemented.
Wito wangu leo ni kwa wanaharakati wa mashirika ya kijamii ni kuambia kwamba wajitokeze kwa wingi, washirikiane na serikali. Licha ya kuwa ya kwamba sisi kazi yetu ni oversight, pia tunahitajika kufanya kazi na serikali ili tujue shida iko wapi.
In my mind, the missing link is when you provide hardware, we must provide the software on how to optimize that hardware. If you give people fertilizer or lime, they must know how to use it.
All right. In a distressing situation, flood victims in Kisumu and Siaya counties have sought refuge in a local school as they grapple with the aftermath of severe flooding. The unfortunate timing of their displacement coincides with the reopening of schools for the second term, significantly impacting the school's program and disrupting the learning process. However, Authorities have communicated to the flood victims the necessity of finding alternative shelter to ensure that the continuity of education. Our very own Halan Emodia tells us more.
The status now at Umbaka Primary School in Nyando, Kisumu County. Students taking classes down the trees as teachers take their duties for second-term learning. It's only 20% of students attended classes today. According to the head teacher, the classes used by flood victims, they must be sprayed and cleaned accordingly before students can resume using them.
Darasa yetu pia hayako katika hali nzuri sana. Tunahofia kwamba watoto wetu tukiwaingiza huko ndani wanaweza kupata magonjwa. Mazingira ya shule pia si masafi sana.
As you can see, families that moves from their homes after River Nyando breaks their source for the second time. Some of them staying now with neighbors waiting for water level to reduce at their homes.
Ula, maji yalienda na uniforms, bags za watoto, ng'ombe, akina kuku. Tuko na problem mengi sana.
Pembe Primary School in Sihaya, more than 300 people also stayed there to give space for second-term learning. So victims choose to stay here at this house, which is opposite the school, as they continue to look for a better place to migrate to. The head teacher told us that it is only 20% of students attended school on Monday.
The space within the church is not so big, and we cannot have them here during the day. We still give space that if evening arrives and the learners have retreated home, they can still come back here and sleep and then go back to the church during the day.
Total of 262 people, including mothers and young children. 53 of them need mosquito nets because of the increase in mosquito in Alego Osonga. Reporting for Iman Television, I'm Emodia Alan.
All right, the revered cultivation of cassava in Busia County could significantly change the lives of farmers in the region as the Farmers Cooperative Society Tangakona strives to increase the value of this crop. Committed to adding value to the crop by producing various products, the Tangakona Cooperative Society has become a beacon of hope for farmers in Busia County as it seeks to empower them by providing a market for their produce and increasing its value. Through the cooperative, farmers can now sell their cassava at competitive prices and benefit from the value-added products created by the society.
Tunashaga alafu tunaingiza hapa ndani. Hapa ndani tunaona mihogo yetu ni safi kabisa, haina chembe yote ya uchafu. So hapa hivi hii dryer yetu inachukua capacity of 3000 kgs. Joto yenye ika hapa ndani siwezi kadiria kwa macho, lakini ni moto sana, kiwango ya inakausha hii mihogo kama ni tani 3 hiyo yenye nimesema, inakausha kwa siku 3.
Kwanza tunaosha, tunachambua, tukimaliza tunakuja kuosha, tukimaliza kuosha tunakuja kusiaga mihogo, alafu tunaanika ndani ya dryer.
Okina mama ndio wengi hapa kwa factory kwa hii mradi. Mama wanalima, wanaleta mhogo na wanajitegemea. So livelihoods are being supported by this program. Mimi kama chairman wao tunataka tutembee nao hata kwa shows na exhibition.
Nimekuwa mkulima wa mhogo kwa miaka 20. Nimeona sipati hasara nikikuwa mkulima wa mhogo. Huwa nauza vijiti, nikishalima nauza vijiti, nauza mhogo.
Na mhogo ni nzuri kwa sababu ukishalima hivi
cutting peke yake inaweza kupatia dynama nzuri.
Lakini tunahimiza gavana wetu wa Busia kama anaweza fanya bidii, maybe wafungue ile factory ya Simbachai. Nafikiri inaweza saidia wakulima wetu wengi sana.
I would ask all the farmers to forget about sugarcane. Let them press cassava so that we don't have hunger in our county. We shall be able to supply them with the cassava cuttings.
All right, we move forward with our bulletin, and in a bid to promote sustainable agriculture and empower local farmers, the Siaya County government, through its Department of Agriculture, has been actively supporting and encouraging poultry farming initiatives. Already approximately 5,000 farmers are engaged in poultry farming under the county's agricultural development program. Let's listen in.
In our poultry cycle, we incubate the eggs that comes from our farm. We have got a parent stock chicken that lays the eggs, and we have got two breeds. We have got rainbow rooster and we have got Kuroiler, and this gives us the eggs. We have the incubator capacity of 5,800 chicks per month. Now once the chicks hatch, we sell them after having done the first important vaccination called Marex. So the sales is a continuous process. We start selling from day one up to table birds.
We sell the table birds mostly at 400 shillings per kilo. And the market is there. We sell sometimes to groups.
Now listen to this story. As children are going back to schools, a crackdown has been held along the busy Thika superhighway in Nairobi to ensure road safety. Passengers sensitized on the importance of putting on their safety belts, and during the crackdown, the drivers found with the expired driving license were arrested. Our very own Samuel Wechuli has more details.
According to Peter Mwanza, the police boss from police headquarters, accompanied by Kendi Mtuna, who is the NTSA Thika Road region manager, as they supervised the road's operation. Mr. Mwanza said most of the road accidents are the result of human error by failure to handle traffic rules. And that is what have forced him to pass a tough warning to drivers who are taking this information for granted and promise to take them before the courts of law if they break the rules and regulation of roads.
This is a very serious exercise. Ni exercise ambayo imechukuliwa na uzito mkubwa. Kwa hivyo madriver wale wanafikiria watafanya vile wanavyotaka kufanya, maana kwao ni kama kawaida. Hayo mambo yanastahili kubadilika. Kwa maana tukisha kukamata lazima upelekwe kotini. Tukisha kukamata lazima ustakiwe. Pia tunaangalia, tunafuata hata baada ya hapa, kutoka hapa pia tuna wengine wako mbele pia wanatazama. Kwa hivyo ukiona kama umepita hapa, hautapita kule Sagana na hautapita pande ya Matu wako Sagana pia tuko barabara nyingine ya Murang'a pia tuko. Kwa hivyo ni operation ambayo imeshikwa.
Also, the NTSA manager of Thika region, Kendi Mtuna, has added that this week they will hold a crackdown so that to sensitize the passengers on the road safety. As she said that the NTSA and the police will be working together so that to ensure that the roads, rules and regulations are being observed during this time that children are resuming back to schools.
We are here to have a road safety sensitization week with it's a joint operation with the police. We are trying to remind people that they need to be safe on the roads as students are going back to school. We are also trying to check on the accidents, just trying to remind people that they need to be safe. Today we were checking on the compliance level of the matatus, the compliance level of the driving license, the PSV and the RSLs. Mostly today is mainly a compliance operation. So of course people are going to be charged, we are going to courts. However, today is mainly a reminder for people to be safe on the roads, especially during this school period. We are trying to curb the many carnages that we have seen that are affecting especially school-going children. So yeah, we are checking everything, but our main emphasis is sensitization and road safety.
Reporting for Imani Television, Samuel Wechuli.
All right, thanks so much, Wechuli. And that news item marks the end of our news bulletin tonight. Thank you so much for watching News Hour. I've been your presenter, Nicholas Barasa, and our sign language interpreter tonight is Phyllis Mirikwa Arunga. But before we leave, remember to join us this Friday, the 12th of May, in our night vigil that always happens the second Friday of every month. Have a good night.